Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Arcane, Season 1, Episode 9, The Monster You Created. This is the season finale, and I feel like that title could be talking about Jinx. It could be talking about Jace and the Hex Tech. It could be talking about Victor and his messed up Hex Tech. It could be talking about every single council member and all the neglect they allowed to fester in the Undercity. It could be talking about a lot of things. It could also be talking about the game that Vi and Powder used to play. I'm so excited for this finale, and I'm also terrified for it. I feel like it's probably going to hurt, but also be epic, so yes. A reminder that you can find the unedited versions of these reactions on my Patreon, and at some point soon, once I've finished catching up fully with everything I fell behind on with my CFS crash, there will be a poll on my Patreon soon for a show to replace Arcane. I may even do the poll quite soon. I may, or I don't know. We will see. But yes, there will be a show replacing Arcane, basically, is what I'm going to say. Let us go. You should feel it. I'm not saying whether you'd ultimately do the right thing or not, but that is a life. I like him. I like him for the fact that he is experiencing this. He is feeling this emotion. He's not absolving himself instantly. I can also understand why, with the life experiences Vi has, with all that she's lost, how desperate she is, she would be more easily at this moment able to look at it that way. But also, she didn't cause that kid's death.
He knew what he was signing up for.
No, he didn't. He didn't have a choice.
We're done here. I don't even know where to take it. Do we just leave him here?
You've always been a part
I
of this.
do respect him, but he has. This is true.
There's hundreds more where he came from, thanks to Silco and thanks to people like you who stuck their heads in the dirt.
This is over.
I respect him for feeling the guilt of that child's death, but everything she's saying is true. He's as culpable now as he ever was. It's just this time he got his hands personally dirty. This time he watched it happen. What he needs to do is say to her, I'm going to go back to the council and I'm going to make sure they listen. I'm going to make sure they come up with that we focus all of our energies on coming up with a better solution. She feels it.
We have the solace of knowing he died fighting for our cause.
Great solace, thanks.
You're one to talk about sacrificing for the cause. Where is Jinx anyhow?
He doesn't know.
With the body.
You need to destroy that thing. Right now. Or at least find a safe way to destroy the monster you created. Is it connected to the parts of him? Jesus. Yeah, you have created a monster. Go away, warmonger.
Get hold of yourself. I taught you better.
Actually, she grew up without you, so fuck off.
The process you started.
I wanted to protect the city from people like you.
There's always a danger to inventing new technology.
Start a war just
Protect our family.
You send your daughter away.
I stopped being part of this family.
Because you weakened me. I couldn't endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the decisions, the necessary decisions to keep us safe.
Or should you have learnt from your daughter? Learnt from that look in her eyes, become a better person.
Where you belong.
This is where you belong. This is where you grew. Considering jumping?
Am I interrupting?
You need to talk, both of you. Tell each other all of the dumb things you've done.
We lost ourselves. Lost our dream. In the pursuit of great, we failed to do good.
Very easy to happen. Coup. He must have a plan for something like this.
Whatever the world threw at us.
Which one is she gonna kill? Every time he said the word loyalty. Yep. He truly was worried for a moment there. Jesus Christ.
Today I got a glimpse of what war between us might look like. Your people wouldn't stand a chance. Council couldn't care less. I'm trying to save you from annihilation.
He actually is.
And I need Jinx. She has
Fuck.
to pay for what she's done. We both have our shitty parts to play. Give
Fuck.
me Jinx, and I'll give you your nation of Zaun.
Fuck.
Astonishing.
A ray of hope. Of light.
It's not enough to give people what they need to survive. You have to give them what they need to live.
Exactly. This is a sign of hope. That's probably about to be squashed. And so where's Caitlyn and where's Jinx? Given that he does care about her, but he was the last person who's been raising a child. Oh. She's fully lost. Got nice some music for the occasion.
Everyone, out.
This was her home once. A place of hope. Oh, goodness. Come on. Come on. Wake up.
Your guard needs work.
Oh,
She still needs you. They all do.
me
So
too.
what do you say?
Terrified. Jesus Christ. She's lost so much.
Bravo, sis.
Fuck. She wants to fight for you too.
Council, they're right not to trust us.
You're
They
walking
shouldn't-
a fine line, Jace.
You shouldn't leave them to the mercy of a crime mob boss. That's not caring about them in the slightest. That's just protecting the upper city.
Except you. You were right.
Jace has brokered a peace with Silco.
You should never make a peace with someone like Silco.
Independence.
What do any of you know about anything? I mean, I don't agree with making a peace with Silco. She loves you so
Barely
much,
thought I'd
Powder.
bury this place. First day's dead.
Can we save her from this? This isn't just casual trauma.
But he didn't make Jinx. You did.
She's already carrying that guilt.
Powder. I never meant to leave you.
She didn't.
You never left.
She would have come right back.
I always heard you. Shadows in the streets. Prickles on the back of my neck.
She would have come back and she would have taken back those words. She would have changed those words 1,000 times, shown actions that it wasn't what she thought.
The only thing that kept me going was the thought of getting back to you.
I believe it. Jesus Christ.
He took. I paid your girlfriend a visit this morning.
What did you do?
Sheesh. I'm not that crazy.
You've lost yourself, your eyes.
That's your choice, really.
It's not Powder. You.
Send her on her way in. And you can have Powder back.
Fuck.
I can't. No! Powder, listen.
She has never taken her.
We'll leave and never come back. I'm not lying.
She would have come back for you. She would give her life for you, but not like this. She needs so much help, and can she be saved at this point? It breaks my heart.
Independence, a seat at the table. Everyone betrays us, Jinx. Vander. Her.
She didn't! You knew she was sent to prison, you bastard!
You will never understand.
She doesn't want anyone here to die other than Silco, maybe.
She's my sister.
She's arguing for you.
She's too far gone.
Finish it.
She's not. Can we save her from this? Can she save herself? Oh. They loved you so much. Did she just shoot Silco because he was going to shoot Vi?
No, I'm sorry.
He was trying to keep you as Jinx. He was trying to take the choice away from you.
Given you to them.
You chose Vi when it counted, okay? Try and remember at least a little bit of powder. We need to try and save you somehow. Is there a way? She needs to save herself. Oh, she's choosing Jinx. Breaks my heart.
You could love me like you used to. Even though I'm different.
She could if you weren't willing to hurt innocent people, my darling. She needs you to try and find your way back.
You changed too.
Time does that. Jesus Christ. Oh, can she be saved? Because obviously she doesn't have to go back to being the exact little girl she used to be.
We will show them.
Holy shit. This is the only hope I see right now. Jesus Christ. I don't want to cry. Holy shit. Okay, I'll try and go back into the episode and not just focus on the final scenes because those were the ones that have, like, consumed me. I'm glad that Jace realised the mistake of taking a war approach. I think making peace is the right call here, but making peace with Silco wasn't the right call because he is exploiting, creating the situations. It's not like Silco was like, oh, if we were free from Piltover, then I'd give everyone rights and food, you know. Somehow trying to make a resistance government within Zorn that could take over, that could be a body of the people or something, would have been the way to go. I don't know. But I also can see the merits of the peace strategy. I'm glad that Victor didn't wanted to destroy it even though he couldn't, though now he may be the only one left that can, unless he was also in the council room. I honestly don't remember. I'm glad that Heimerdinger found the magical, hopeful place, because that is literally the only piece of hope right now. I genuinely, like, the end of that episode has eclipsed everything that came before it. I cannot remember anything that happened before. God, so... It breaks my heart to hear Vi believe that she created Jinx, because obviously it is one of those situations where, yes, her actions, her words played a big part. But if she was free to choose anything she could have chosen, she would never have left Jinx, never left Powder. She would have gone back for her. I believe she would have sat around that corner crying, feeling the, oh my god, my sister just killed everyone I cared about, and then that rage would have subsided and she would have gone back for her. You know, she would have seen that Silco was there with her sister. She'd have charged down there, risking her own life, dying to try and get to Powder. But then she was arrested. So because of that, because in a world with free choice, she would have done things differently. And yes, that would have always been between them. Yes, Powder would have always carried the scar of the choice she made, setting off that bomb that killed their family. The fact that her sister was so furious she hit her, she called her Jinx. Yes, that would have been a scar between them. That would have been a wound. Maybe their relationship would have crumbled down the line. Maybe the love they shared for each other wouldn't have been enough. But we don't know. All we know is that Vi regretted calling her sister a Jinx every second that came after, but also that her anger in that moment was this person's reckless decision just killed everyone, and maybe they were going to die anyway. You know, again, this show is very good at creating messed up scenarios. It's also important to remember that Vi herself was a child. Yes, she was an older child, but she was a child who had far too much responsibility put on her at a young age because of the world they lived in. Powder is not to blame for becoming Jinx. Jinx is to blame for the choices she continues to make, but the child that she was experienced extreme trauma at a very young age when her parents died, then experienced even greater trauma when she inadvertently caused the deaths of most of her family, had her sister, the person that mattered most to her in the world, call her a Jinx and then seemingly vanish. The person that took her in and was raising her, who was teaching her all these toxic things that he thought were the right thing to teach her, lying to her and saying, oh yeah, your sister just isn't coming back for you. She could come back for you if she wanted to, but she's not. All the while knowing exactly where she was and having the resources to go break her out if you really wanted to. The person most responsible for creating Jinx is Silco. But I can also see it from, in a weird way, it was how Powder coped. Without the positive influence of Vi, without Vi absolving her of some of the blame for what happened, without Vi taking back calling her a Jinx and saying, no matter what happened, you're my sister, regardless of Vi being the sort of thinking of her being the thing that gave her the strength to keep going, it was the negative messages that Silco kept giving her that took this extremely traumatized, scared little girl that thought, am I a monster because of what I've done? Because even my sister thinks I'm a monster, and that said, yes, you are a monster, am I going to make them pay? That message that he gave her, as much as she wants to say it wasn't him, it was a big part of it. Because if she'd been taken in by a kindly old lady who ran a cookie selling business, who's told her it wasn't her fault, she still wouldn't have become Jinx. She may well have grown into being an unstable young woman because of the extreme trauma she went through that has not been treated, but she would never have become Jinx. It is wrong to put all of that blame on Vi, but I also think Jinx is hurting. Jinx feels like, how dare Vi be forming this connection with this other person that isn't me? She's picking someone else over me. She's picking someone that wants to stop me over me. I want to make her suffer the way she made me suffer. I think she knows saying that to Vi will hurt. I honestly don't know where the show goes next. So that final scenes. I'm sorry, I'm missing so many things. When Mel took the ring off, was that taking off her family's ring and firmly siding with Jace and the council? It was, wasn't it? So the dinner scene. First of all, Vi trying to take down Silco, one-woman mission. Because I think if you truly want to save the Undercity, you need to take it back from the crime bosses. And I don't think one person could do that. I don't even necessarily think the top side just coming in and sweeping rank would do that either. I think it would need to be a Vander-esque situation. But a situation where Vander, or the Vander-esque figure, was given legal power, whether that is full autonomy and like you are now a nation state, or whether it is, you know, you can be like mayor of Zorn or whatever. However it were to work, that is the only way I could see that working in the long run. The civilians, the people of the Undercity of Zorn, choosing for themselves, fighting for a better life for themselves. Getting rid of Shimmer, of course. Now Jace is willing to work with Silco. It is, again, I don't agree with it. I understand it, but I don't agree with it. Vi doing her one-woman mission to try and save the day, she made a huge dent. Who knows what would have happened if Jinx wasn't running around extra amped up on this life-saving serum of mental. I mean, I'm so like right now, part of what makes me, I feel right now like I want to cry for a couple of reasons. Like I think if the episode had gone on a little bit longer, I would be crying. It's partly because I truly don't know if we can save Jinx. I genuinely think who she is right now, she is making choices, but also so much has been done to her, whether it was just the way she was raised after the terrible incidents that happened, the world she was raised in, that played a huge part, the fact that her sister was taken from her and was not able to get back to her, and then the fact that she was dying and Silco took her to that place. She had that horrendous treatment done to her that has created an even more unstable version. I do not know how we can get any semblance of a good person back from this, because she's not operating on the top side. Like, she's just, I'm scared of her. I'm desperately heartbroken of who she is. She's an epic villain, but I don't want her to be a villain. I wanted her to find a way to be Vi again, and I cannot see that happening. My heart breaks for Powder. It even breaks for Jinx, because up until this episode there almost was hope that she could have found her way back to being Powder. But instead, she chose Vi over Silco and then chose Jinx over Powder. Now, yes, obviously, it's not as simple as she says, I'd like to be Powder again, and then you pat her on the head, she's absolved of everything, and she's back to being a healthy, mental state young woman. Of course not. But we could have worked to a place where she atoned for some of the actions she did, where she acknowledged what parts of Silco's upbringing were toxic, what parts of her were created just to survive, because a lot of it was just to survive, and she could have found a way back to Vi. Vi loves her. There was a point where Caitlyn had her at gunpoint and Vi could have been like, yes, just do it. And she was begging Caitlyn not to. Vi's love for her has been shown again and again and again. But it seems like at this point, Jinx views the only real love is truly choosing her above everything else and choosing her and not wanting anything else. When that is not healthy, for one thing, that is not a healthy form of love. And it's not like she's saying, this is Caitlyn, my new sister. She's like, this is Caitlyn and it's my girlfriend. I mean, okay, they've never officially labelled anything. You know, it's a different type of attachment. Silco had other attachments. It breaks my heart to see how lost she is. And also from a narrative standpoint, it was bad enough, the murder she'd committed and the small-scale terrorism she'd committed. Now, I'm terrified of just what harm she's going to commit. How heartbreaking it is to me that is who she's become. Then it shatters my heart because I think about Vi watching that, Vi seeing there that that's her sister doing this. Her sister is lost and she will be blaming herself for creating Jinx. She will be blaming herself because that's what Jinx said, and she's already internalizing all of that guilt because she, from a very far too young age, became her sister's protector when no one's child should have that put on their heads. And then you have Vi thinking like, the heartbreak of the same feeling I'm feeling of, I don't think that girl can be saved. Like, maybe I should have listened when Caitlyn said she's too far gone. Should I have said, yes, do it? Should I have been like, yes, she is too far gone, and then just like hated myself for forevermore, but saved more lives? Because is my love for my sister going to cost so many more people their loved ones? Then the heartbreak of Caitlyn watching as that bomb arcs and arcs and arcs towards either countless innocent lives, the council chamber, and God knows how many other innocent lives, knowing her mother is on the council. The helplessness of watching as that missile flies towards it. And then Caitlyn thinking, if I just shot her. I know, like, she tried one time, like, and then she was supercharged. I know it wasn't as simple as that, but if I'd just been better, if I had just taken her out, this wouldn't have happened. Then I'm heartbroken thinking about all the lives that are about to be lost, because I do not believe in myself that big, would even just take out the council. And even then, I may not like all of the council, they don't deserve to die. Jace truly wants to try and make the world a better place. Mel is choosing to make the world a better place. Victor was there. Is he still there? Is he somehow going to be able to protect or shield Jace somehow? Because he's, I don't know, super hex techie. Can he do some kind of shield on some people? Or are they all about to just be wiped off the map? That breaks my heart. It breaks my heart knowing that war between the two nations is now inevitable, and the majority of people on both sides are innocent and clueless. You know, in essence, one woman's actions from the Undercity has made them the villain. And you know from the real world how easy it is. Then they're going to be saying, every person in the Undercity are scum. They are all terrorists who want to come and murder you, when most of them just want a right to live and have been given no choices. Then thinking about the pain in the in Piltover, knowing that Hextech can probably now be used for mass murdering weapons on their side as well, knowing that essentially nuclear weapons have been created in this civilization to a degree, that kind of you can't go back from this. And it's what Heimdall warned, you know, good intentions lead to nowhere, lead nowhere good, often. It's devastating to think of how this world is going to change, how Piltover, yes, Piltover had held itself up as this beacon of progress and equality, and Jace and Victor truly did want to make things better for people in the Undercity, but they either wanted to rush it or relied on technology when there are other ways you could have made things better for people in the Undercity without giving them supersonic weapons or like supersonic tech. So it absolutely devastates me. I can't imagine what Vi is going through right now, what Caitlin is going through. Any lingering remnants of powder would just be screaming, but I worry that there aren't any. If I delve too much into Vi's head right now, I will start sobbing. So I feel like this is where I need to end my review, but my god, this episode was amazing. There is going to be a season 2, right? Because fuck, we need one. But again, part of me is devastated because I truly do think in season 2, Powder will be gone. No traces of her. Jinx will be the enemy. And if anything, you'll have Vi, you'll have, what's his name, Zero? The Firelight people fighting for the well-being of the people on the ordinary people of the Undercity who have done nothing wrong and just prayed for a way to survive. And that breaks my heart. So this was a devastating finale. It was epic, but my god, it was devastating and heartbreaking, and I'm just going to sit here and be sad now. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.